Here we are, Ameer.
Hello. Hi.
Perfect. So you can hear us. Perfect.
Yes.
We are seeing you on a big screen. I think that you can look at the audience from the behind, so you can wave at him, and he's going to see you from the back. We are here. Thank you very much for being with us tonight. And as I told you before, I'm just going to leave you right now in the safe hands of Aya and Fatima, that are the two girls of Darna Cinema who helped organize this screening. And thank you very much again for being with us. Please keep in mind only that we are going to translate the question and the answers. And then after your chat with Fatima and Aya, we're going to have some questions from the audience. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. I'm just gonna quickly say a couple words about the movie and about the conversation we're gonna have right now. And I'm gonna make sure to translate as much as possible. First of all, thank you for being here today. It's really a pleasure and a privilege to share the space with those who value cinema not only as an entertainment format, but also as a form of resistance, reflection, and revelation. And the movie that we just watched dares to pause, to dwell in the silence, and to sit with the discomfort. YUNAN, directed by Ameer Fakher Eldin, here present with us tonight, is not just a story, it's an experience of exile, of an inner exile, and it really challenges us to confront the invisible wounds that we carry and carried by those who have been displaced. The film doesn't offer answers, it asks us difficult questions, and these questions are about identity, trauma, memory, and healing. And today we have the honor of engaging with the director and filmmaker. And before we start, I kindly ask you to welcome him warmly.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So it's really an honor to have you with us today. And as they said before, I'm Aya, and I'm part of the cinematography project called Darna, and we aim to spread and promote movies from all over the Swana region in Italy and in Europe. And this movie today is the perfect example of what we want to share with the Italian public. So I would like to start actually with the name of the movie. I think it's very interesting. The title Yunan, maybe some people don't know that, but in Arabic it means Greece, and I found it a very interesting choice, very intentional, since it feels like it carries cultural and philosophical weight to it. So could you maybe share with us why you chose this name and what was the thought process behind it? I'm just going to quickly translate it before you respond. La mia domanda riguarda il titolo del film, che è Yunan, che in arabo significa Grecia, e quindi ho pensato che fosse Grecia. Esatto, sì. E quindi penso sia una scelta molto interessante, che sicuramente c'è una correlazione filosofica dietro, dato che il protagonista non viene dalla Grecia e il film non è girato in Grecia. So go ahead if you want.
So again, thank you so much, everyone, for hosting the film, and everyone tonight for coming and watching in this late hour. The title of the film, Yunan, could be taken in many directions. One of that philosophical Greece or Greek, and the whole idea of civilization. That's I would call like a very far thought, but I appreciate it a lot. Mainly, the first, maybe easier way to receive this title is that it's the Arabic translation of the prophet Yonah in the Bible, which is the prophet that was basically swallowed by the big whale, and he had to spend in this strange belly of a whale for 3 nights and 3 days, and this the whole theme of rebirth and redemption in a way. So, and I was thinking, what is the film is most about? It's really, for me, could be about this estrangement of feeling estranged, and therefore you're not in the land, you're not in the sea, you're in the belly of a whale. And since also the prophet Jonas in Italian maybe, is that the only prophet also who asked God to end his life when you read in the narrative of Prophet Jonah. So, and I thought that's an interesting way to put title for a film because there is a lot of, I mean, elements, but I like to leave it also to the audience once they also discover this meaning that could add another layer for them to reconstruct what they just have so.
Thank you so much. La sua spiegazione al titolo è ispirato in realtà dalla traduzione dall'arabo del profeta Giona, che è stato inghiottito dalla balena e ha passato 3 notti e 3 giorni all'interno della balena in esilio, estraniato da solo, e racconta come fosse questa sensazione che l'ha ispirato a dare il titolo al film, soprattutto perché è stato l'unico profeta che chiese a Dio di terminare la sua vita, e lui ha trovato questo parallelismo nella storia del profeta e con il nostro protagonista. Thank you so much for your answer. I think that explains a lot. Our second question actually is, in the movie, the long silences feel almost like another character being part of the film itself, and your protagonists often live more in the unsaid than in the dialogue itself. They're defined by what they hold back. What does the silence mean to you as a narrative tool, and what does it allow you to say that words cannot? La mia domanda è come i lunghi silenzi nel suo film diventano quasi un personaggio aggiuntivo, prendono uno spazio molto importante all'interno del suo racconto, e diventa uno strumento narrativo che lui sfrutta, e quindi come queste cose, queste parole non dette diventano loro stesse parte del racconto, e perché è così importante per lui usare questi silenzi. Thank you.
Yeah. Should I my answer? Should I stop, or you would just translate in Italian? It's okay.
Speaking.
Oh, thank you. So, I mean, for me, Yunan, this film is really a story of. I want to tell a story of a man who no longer believes in stories in a way. And like a solitary intellectual, disillusioned, exiled and numb, who travels to this remote island, not to begin again, but to disappear in a way. And yet, in this barren and quiet landscape, surrounded by strangers and who carry their own scars also, he begins to somehow encounter something unexpected, imagination, nature, and the fragile possibility of connection. In order to portray this, I felt words would have been too much, because I wanted to depict the feeling of the depressed and the lonely people in this life. And I think there are a lot of silences in their life when they experience life as it is.
Thank you very much. Allora, lui dice che voleva rappresentare un uomo che non crede più in niente, che è disilluso completamente, una figura intellettuale che non si avvicina ad alcuna realtà, ad alcuna fede, ma vuole sparire, non per ricominciare, ma proprio per diventare invisibile. Così si ritrova in uno spazio con degli sconosciuti e in quel momento ricomincia ad immaginare di nuovo, a vivere questa fragilità delle connessioni umane e quindi ha sentito che usare troppe parole in questo contesto sarebbe stato poco utile nel comunicare come invece i silenzi sono stati in grado di farlo, soprattutto perché le persone che vivono questi momenti così difficili come la depressione, come alcune difficoltà, vivono questi lunghi periodi di silenzio. Thank you very much. I'm just going to ask you one more question, and then actually the cinema has a few questions for you as well.
Sure.
There are two specific moments towards the end that are very moving. In one, we see Munir dancing to Arabic music in a foreign land. I would say it's a very striking, almost joyful at the moment, the image itself. And then the moment after Munir returns to his mother, even if it's brief, it's incredibly touching. Has he found some sort of healing, or is it like a metaphor for reconciliation, longing, or an impossible return to the end of his story? La mia domanda. Riguarda due momenti specifici durante il film, verso la fine, che sono molto toccanti. Uno nel quale vediamo Munir danzare su questa canzone araba in una terra straniera, che è un'immagine molto intensa, quasi gioiosa, e il momento dopo Munir si ritrova con la madre ed è un attimo molto commovente. E quindi mi chiedo se alla fine di questo racconto il protagonista trova una sorta di guarigione o se è una metafora per la sua riconciliazione personale oppure se è solo nostalgia e un ritorno impossibile. Thank you.
Yeah, I thank you for your words also. In a way, I wanted to draw a character that is not, in a way, because maybe at first some people would think, okay, maybe Valeska in this world like saved this character. Personally, to my personal taste, this bothers me a lot because he's not saved by only a human connection. That is to show how hard it is to be lonely and how far, like how hard is when the familiar, falls away, and then you have to spend your life in exile. I think the only thing that basically maybe saved this weary soul of this character Munir is the fact where what his mother told him is his imagination. And I think, when you look at the exiled people who have experienced exile, you take it like in three stages. Once you lose your home, this is your first loss. You are forced to leave your home because of wars and national crisis. So you lose your home. This is the first loss. Then you go to another country and a refuge country, and there you find maybe refuge. If you're very lucky, you will get very much integrated and you become part of the fabric of society of a different culture. That's even if you're so lucky. And if that happened, you will still be living with a constant feeling of loss because you are culturally ripped out of your roots. Therefore, this is a second loss for the strange people and the exiled people. And when you think even about mythic return, even if you are so lucky, even more than that, that your home will become safe again and that you can revisit it at your lifetime again. Even when you do that, you will come back and you will never find anything the same. This means that the character who is exiled, who is displaced, those who are forced to be displaced, they are not only displaced from their homes, they are displaced from time. And in this film, what I try to do, or what I try to say at this point, the weight of what is lost, makes the usual ways of life impossible. And as it is in this moment, and this moment only, imagination stops being like a choice or like or a utopian dimension. It becomes survival itself, not just as a dream, really, but as the only way out. And I think that mother moment is exactly what maybe saved him, because she tells him the mother doesn't exist, but she tells him, follow your imagination without forsaking yourself. And that is exactly, it's not about only Munir. This is the journey of every, or of all the thinkers in this world, even scientists, even intellectuals, even those who sacrifice their life for the idea. The film is bigger than just being about displaced also. So imagination as a only way out, and force. So, sorry, it's a long answer, so I hope you find it.
Answer is actually extremely deep, and thank you actually for opening such a beautiful conversation. Dice che molte persone possono pensare che Valeska sia stata lei la salvatrice di Munir, ma in realtà non è così. Non è stata solo la connessione umana che l'ha aiutato, ma è stata proprio la sua immaginazione, il momento in cui lui immagina sua madre. Perché le persone che vivono l'esilio vivono diverse tipologie di perdita. Inizia con la perdita della propria casa e nel momento in cui poi arrivi in un altro paese e inizi a far parte del tessuto sociale e ti integri, continui comunque a vivere con questa perdita continua in forma quotidiana. E anche se poi dovessi mai tornare nella terra d'origine, c'è un'ulteriore perdita che è quella del tempo, come se il tempo non fosse mai passato. E quindi è come se fossero esiliati dal tempo stesso e ciò rende la vita impossibile. L'immaginazione smette di essere un sogno, ma diventa l'unico strumento per sopravvivere. E quindi nel momento in cui lui si immagina sua madre gli dice: segui la tua immaginazione, sì, però senza sacrificarti. E infine conclude dicendo che questa è un'esperienza umana di tutti coloro che seguono un sogno o un valore o qualcosa di specifico nella loro vita che li porta avanti. We actually have so many other questions, but I have to move on.
Okay.
So the cinema is interested in knowing 3 things about you. What's your first memory related to cinema? What's your favorite memory related to cinema? And actually, the last one is, why do you think people should go to the cinema today? So first, favorite, and why?
It's 3 questions or 2?
It's 3.
Again, what's my first?
First memory related to cinema. Go ahead with that if you want.
Okay, and the second one?
The second one is your favorite memory related to cinema.
But isn't our first is our favorite? It's interesting.
Yeah.
No, okay. My first memory of cinema. I grew up I was born in Kiev in Ukraine, but very shortly we go back to the Golan Heights, where I lived in the occupied Golan Heights, my parents. It's a mountainous village, and we have no cinema at all. My first cinema moment in my life that actually made me want to make films, when I first went to a cinema by coincidence, and was in the city. of Jaffa, and I went in. I didn't know what's happening there. Went in, and it's Italian film for 3 hours, and I sit down with like maybe another 4 elderly people in this very big theater, and we watch a film. And I finished this. I went out, and I didn't understand. Wow, this was my first time in cinema watching a film in my life. I was 20 years old, imagine. And I thought like, wow, it doesn't feel like my first time. So I remembered when I was young, I was going to the salon, to the living room, when I was 8 years old, and I was turning on the TV on film channel to because no one would put that film channel, and then I will watch films on silent. I will have to mute it because not to wake up my parents. And when I remembered this, that this was in my childhood, that's when I understood that the moment when I first watched cinema film, it didn't feel weird because I've always been watching films, and I since I was a child without knowing that I was watching films, and I need to reconstruct. So the film was in Italian and the subtitles were Hebrew, and I didn't understand both. And it was L'Avventura from Antonioni. So that was my first cinema experience.
Thank you so much. Allora, lui racconta che in realtà è nato in Ucraina, a Kiev, però dopo qualche anno torna con la sua famiglia sulle montagne del Golan, right? Okay. E la prima volta che ha visto un film al cinema aveva 20 anni ed era un film italiano che è durato 3 ore e non aveva capito niente perché il film era in italiano con i sottotitoli in ebraico, mentre da piccolo, intorno agli 8 anni, andava in salotto, metteva la TV sul muto perché non voleva svegliare i suoi genitori e guardava i canali del cinema, dei film per ore. I think I did a
Okay.
I think I translated it.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
My favorite cinema moment was when I really first time watched Stalker from Tarkovsky in a cinema with the original print. That was my favorite cinema experience. That I would answer. And what was the third question?
Sorry, just one second.
Di Tarkovsky quando l'ho visto in un cinema con una
Ok.
stampa originale.
Ok. Allora, il suo momento preferito è quando ha visto al cinema il film Stalker di Tarkovsky. Ok. Okay, the last question is actually
Yeah. I remember. Why should people go to cinema?
exactly.
Oh God, this is my favorite answer. Well, in a world that we are just going down and down, and where we are looked at as users, I think it's so important to go to cinema because nowadays we are considered as users in platforms. Everything is there for us to. Film have become commodity. Film have become they trade with it. But the problem is not the films they only make. That's another problem. But the problem is that how they perceive us. They don't respect us. They don't care about our intelligence. They don't care about our life stories. Because my film is not my film anymore. The reason that every film you go to watch, I mean, a film is watched by 10 people, is 10 films. But so the film is you, the audience, not the user. As a user, you will get very shitty films and with zero intelligence and respect towards us. So I do think people should go to cinema out of even a rebellious act, even to save that dialogue from being, like defeated in a way.
So I think actually your answer deserves an applause.
Oh, thanks.
I'm gonna try to translate it. Lui dice che in un mondo in cui noi siamo visti solo come consumatori e che il film è diventato una merce, un prodotto. È importante andare al cinema come forma di ribellione, come atto di resistenza. Ehm, sì, come... Non sono molto sicura di essere in grado di spiegare l'intero concetto che ha detto, ma dato che i prodotti che ci vengono presentati spesso sono semplicemente commerciali, andare al cinema e vedere un film come questo, anche se sono solo 10 persone a vederlo, non lo rende meno importante
We're
di un
not
film.
respected in cinema. We are not respected they don't care about us at all. They treat us as consumers, as users. Where I think we have to fight for our existence in that regard and for our respect. And we have to, in an act of rebellion, I think we have to still go to cinema, to gain dignity over this very big machine that is just need to inject us more and more, like, and treat us as users and not as audience anymore.
Sì, che non siamo più trattati come un audience, ma come dei consumatori di un prodotto e non siamo rispettati come un tempo. E quindi andare al cinema è anche richiedere una forma di rispetto, penso si riferisca all'industria generale del mondo del cinema, a produttori, direttori, l'intero sistema, e richiedere rispetto e dignità come audience, non come consumatori passivi di quello che ci viene presentato.
And also,
Yes,
can I add something?
yes,
Because this
absolutely.
is important. Because I think the real difference also is that when we go to cinema is the act that the way we wake up the 2 days before, the week before that we plan it. It is part of our of our commitment to ourselves, to loving ourselves, to wanting to explore. This is this exploration, this curiosity, the unknown. A film is in a cinema in a dark room. It's unknown. It's not done by just 2 clicks on a TV and just watching, and then by the poster, I would think if to watch it or not. This experience is so essential to the human. And again, that means when you go to the cinema, the film you're watching is the day you had as well. And this cannot be replaced. This is like theater. This is like one of these moments where we are the films when we go to watch them. We are the films.
Ok. Lui dice che nel momento in cui noi siamo in una sala cinematografica a vedere un film, diventiamo noi stessi come audience parte del film. Interagiamo e c'è una conversazione tra l'audience e lo schermo, perché anche solo la scelta che noi prendiamo il giorno prima o la settimana prima di andare a vedere quel film è una scelta personale che contribuisce alla nostra esperienza umana nel dedicare uno spazio alla riflessione e alla scoperta di non voglio usare la parola prodotto, però di un'esperienza nuova, di un momento che non conosciamo e diventa una forma di comunicazione tra l'audience e il film stesso. Sì, diventiamo attivi e non passivi. Thank you very, very much. It was really a pleasure.
Thank you.
I'd like just to check if there are some questions from the audience. C'è qualche domanda da parte vostra? Ah, meno male. Qualcuno che...
Posso tradurre se volete o se volete fare in inglese.
No, ero molto curioso. Faccio in italiano,
Vai,
traduce perché
assolutamente.
non faccio scene. Ciao. No,
Ciao.
non ho capito, ci vede?
Sì, sì, ci vede da dietro.
Ah, da dietro, aspetta, mi faccio vedere, perché non mi piace parlare di spalle. Dov'è? È quella camera là. Ciao.
Ciao. Hi.
Ciao, hi. Nice to meet you. Thank
to
you
meet you.
for this gift. It's a gift. Because I was invited by my friend. He was also bought the ticket, so for free.
Oh.
It's great.
Like you.
Yeah. Volevo chiederti, presumo che sei sotto i 40, mi azzardo, è giovane, cioè giovane è una parola relativa, però. Ma com'è che hai fatto a imparare così giovane a capire la natura umana? Io mi sono proprio, cioè, ho detto, Madonna, questo è proprio bravo a descrivere la natura umana così. Traduci tu, lo dica in inglese?
Sì, sì.
Voglio capire
Grazie.
il segreto,
Sì,
a
ho
parte che
capito.
secondo me tu sai l'italiano, un pochino,
Un pochino, sì,
un
but
pochino lo sai.
I understand a little bit, but thank you
Sì.
so much.
I
This is a
I need to
beautiful
know.
compliment.
I'm very curious about how did you learn the way to describe human nature? It's so difficult. Thank you.
I don't think I think I only can thrive to the ideal, and on a way it's a mission itself. Like, and I find myself irritated by myself a lot of times, and if not most of the time. But I feel like every generation have a mission, whether they fulfill it or they betray it and leave the ruins to the other generation to deal with. And maybe because I come from a culture where I feel that my older generations have betrayed their mission and left me with a lot of ruins. And I refused to fool myself in order not to suffer. I believe in the suffering. I believe the suffering holds a lot in for us to, at the end of the day, I'm a proxy. I'm a tunnel from to my experience. And if I don't respect this existence, then what is the meaning of my existence, as an artist? So I work as hard as I can to ask questions and to keep. By the way, I lost my youth to this fucking thing, so I'm sorry. I hope it's not really. I'm not recommending this.
Allora, lui dice che lui spera in realtà di riuscire a capire la natura umana perché anche questo in sé è un viaggio e spesso si ritrova infastidito da se stesso in questo viaggio. Pensa che ogni generazione ha una missione, se questa viene conclusa o meno o viene lasciata alla prossima generazione e sente che la scorsa generazione abbia tradito la sua. E quindi si rifiuta di mentire a se stesso solo per non soffrire. E infine conclude che se non rispettasse questa stessa esistenza, non avrebbe senso la sua esistenza. Molto profonda. Altre domande?
Hello? Si sente? Okay. Hello. I have a question about the flood. Okay. I mean, was it planned? Did you knew that the isle was going to be submerged by water, or did it just happen and did you use for the film? And so, and
Yeah.
so, and the whale we see was just luck, or okay. Okay.
Go on.
Yeah. If it's the, if the flood wasn't planned, okay. So the
No,
whale connects with the fact with the Jonah you told before.
Yeah,
No?
very good.
Okay.
Very good question.
Okay.
But I hope, I mean, I will make as short as I can because maybe someone needs to translate to Italian. Aya. But when I heard about this island, I knew this was the perfect place for the film because of the flood and because my film is about, I wanted to make a film. I thought, wow, a land that that disappears and reappears is exactly the perfect metaphor for a story that I'm telling, which the story is actually about submersion, loss, and return. I'm trying to create a film around these elements of when you are, the submersion, the feeling of submerged, when you feel lonely or exiled, and the loss, to deal with the loss, to live with the loss, and then to return. So, and that was amazing when I went that. And when I went to this island and I knew that this happens there, of course, I wrote it in the script. But when I had to check if this is happening or not, because I heard it happens, but I never saw it. It's not a common thing. It's not a usual thing that happens. So I went to the island and I asked the people in the island, when did this happen? Like, can I see this? Like, when did this, tell me? And they say, you never know. It could happen in the winter time usually because of storm and wind and, okay. I went there in the winter, believe me. I went 2 years. I never happened to me. Yet, I wrote it in the script. And I told my producer, the film cannot happen without this flood. So she hated me, of course, because it's a lot of, then we have to do it visual effects. So we started, because we cannot control this flood, and we cannot ask for it. So, because it needs like a certain wind in a certain direction to move the ground, to move the water, to flood the land. So we started to work with the best company in North America for the visual effects, 6 months before the shooting. And they even brought us in the set 2 people who are very specialists to be on set with us. And we were shooting in October 2023 in this island, which is not winter. All of a sudden, 4th day of shooting, a strong wind started to burst. And I look at the people around me who live there and I say, what is this thing? What is this wind? It's like 150 kilometers per hour. So they said to me, this wind with this direction, it's going to be tomorrow flood. I go, how, what? And we wanted to make it visual effects because I need to have that flood. So I call it divine intervention, like it's God gift to the cinema. And I think every filmmaker, when he makes a film, God contributes something to a film. I don't know why, but I think this way. So we were also, because it will never happen, but we were like prepared even for the 1% that it could happen. Therefore, we managed to capture the real thing. So whatever you see in the film is real flood. And if it was not the real, it would have been, to your question, it would have been visual effects. The whale, when you say about the whale, it's compliments a lot because you thought that the whale happened because of the actual flood. And it's not. Because another thing for why the producer hated me is that I had to write that on the script. Because for me, a whale is a big metaphor for many things. Especially also for the title of the film, YUNAN, and the belly of Yona. And so it's not a real whale. And it's not visual effects. It is, we worked with an artist from Belgium who built this whale very precisely for 2 years, like out of fiberglass, actually. It looks so real. And it was transferred to the island to shoot the film, with the film. So I hope I did not ruin your experience of the film, but that's so technicality, so it's always sad when you hear.
Ok, allora la domanda riguarda se sapeva già che l'isola sarebbe stata sommersa o se è capitato per fortuna. E la seconda domanda era appunto riferita alla balena e se si collegava al profeta Giona. La sua risposta è stata che quando lui ha scoperto dell'esistenza di quest'isola ha pensato che fosse perfetta per questo film perché è una terra che sparisce e riappare, è proprio la storia che lui voleva raccontare. Sparizione, perdita e ritorno. E quando ha visitato quest'isola ha scoperto che però non è una cosa comune, ha parlato con le persone del posto è tornato per 2 anni di fila nello stesso posto e non è mai capitato. Quindi, però lui aveva già deciso che il film non può succedere, non può accadere senza questo elemento così importante. Ehm, Pur essendo un elemento che comunque non può controllare, hanno proceduto chiedendo degli specialisti di effetti speciali dal Nord America, di venire sul set per assisterli nel caso appunto servisse, ma già dal primo giorno che giravano il film è iniziato un forte vento e il secondo giorno sono stati fortunati, lui la chiama intervento divino, che Dio l'ha aiutato facendo accadere questa alluvione, mentre per la balena, per lui è una metafora legata a tantissimi elementi in questo film, sia il titolo che altri. Non è una balena vera, non sono effetti speciali, ma l'hanno fatta costruire da un artista per 2 anni e poi trasportata sulla spiaggia. Thank you.
Thank you, for translating.
Yes. I don't know if you heard that. Do you want me to repeat it?
I didn't hear it, I'm sorry.
Okay. She's asking a question about the fight with the two men. What was the meaning of that fight? Qual è il significato della lotta, del litigio tra i due uomini? Che cosa significava appunto?
I think I would usually, out of humbleness, I would not give my own interpretation of anything because I'm not interested because the moment I made this film is not me anymore. Even with my intentions of what I wanted to have, because at the end, like one film seen by 10 people is 10 films. It's not anymore one film. But if you want my personal, me as an audience, not as a director, because I cannot give you an answer for what I meant, but because I know no one. I remember in the beginning of the film, I mean, that's what I wanted to do as a filmmaker, like to kind of, because I want to make a film that does not change a lot, but simple things change, and they are poetic and very simple. Especially when you talk about mental illness, because you cannot be a doctor. You are not I'm not a psychologist. I cannot offer you, but I can just tickle boxes of metaphors. So in the beginning of the film, his sister on the phone, she asks him, how's Hamburg? And he says, nothing moves here but the clouds. Only the clouds are moving here. As also to picture him how silent and stable is his life at that moment, and as a reason for him desiring an end of his life. The film slowly starts to, even physicality in the film starts to open up. So even he have a failed sexual encounter, like an erotic failure. It develops, the body language. It develops to reaching an island to want to kill himself with a gun in his chest. But then there's a bicycle. But then there's a walking. He starts to walk. Then he starts to take a bike. He bicycle, and then he have this fight because he saw that he could develop even more. Then he have a dance, even the gradual of movement. Then he dances, and then he collapses for good. As a journey, also physical journey of the depressed person as well, because but that scene of the fighting, there was a moment when he felt that I wanted to reach that moment. When he falls, he fights, and he didn't want to win. It's not about winning. He wants to feel alive. He wants to feel that he could be part of that. Also, you can read it, for example, politically. You can read it as he wanted to just feel natural with this new community. which is the feeling of every refugee in the world. They want, at the end of the day, to feel accepted. So even if they play a game, if they're invited for a traditional game, you could read it politically, but I also offer you to even read it psychologically. He just wanted to be even beaten. He wanted to feel alive. I don't want to win. I want to feel alive. And then he falls down to the ground and he looks up and he laughs, looks to the sky, and he sees that, you see that the clouds are moving and he's not, you know. So sorry, the clouds stop to move and he's moving inside, because in the beginning only the clouds are moving and I'm not, and now he is moving and the clouds are not moving anymore after that fight. So as if offering that, in a way, sometimes all we need to do is just to make a movement, you know. And so
Ok. Lui inizialmente dice che non vorrebbe dare una risposta precisa perché un film visto da 10 persone è come se fosse 10 film diversi. Però come regista in questo film non voleva cambiare grandi cose, fare... Abbiamo perso la connessione?
Sì, andare avanti tanto.
Ok, perfetto. Non voleva cambiare grandi cose, non voleva rivoluzionare la sua vita, ma modificare tanti piccoli dettagli per stuzzicare la mente. Inizialmente quando parla al telefono con la sorella, gli dice che nulla si muove tranne che le nuvole. E quindi da lì inizia un cambiamento graduale nella sua vita e si riferisce anche alle persone magari che stanno vivendo un momento di depressione, che piano piano iniziano a cambiare, in questo caso camminare, poi lui lo vediamo andare in bici, dall'andare in bici poi c'è il litigio, dal litigio poi si mette a ballare e infine collassa. Quel litigio non era per vincere, ma era per sentirsi in vita, sentirsi attivo, in un senso anche legato a questa nuova comunità, vuole partecipare. E quindi puoi dare una lettura sia psicologica che politica a questa lotta. E nel momento in cui lui, dopo la lotta, è steso per terra, guarda le nuvole e questa volta sono le nuvole che sono ferme mentre lui è in movimento. E dice che a volte tutto ciò che basta è iniziare a muoverci.
oh, thank you. Grazie. Grazie a tutti.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for being with us tonight. And
Thank you so much, really. So pleasant, and I wish I could have been there with you, but thanks very, very much. Thanks to Aya for translating. Thank you, everyone, for attending. It's been a pleasure that I hear your thoughts, very thoughtful thoughts, and I will take this and remember it forever with me. Thanks.
but there's a final line from a spectator. See? So I'm going to translate. As the character in the film, all of us, one day, we're not going to be here anymore. But until the day, we're going to remember your film as well.
Oh, no.
She's the one who told it.
Memento mori.
Perfect. This is summed up really well.
Yeah.
Thank you again very much.
You.
And thank you even to Aya and
Thank
Fatima
you so
for...
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Grazie
you,
anche a
everyone.
voi. Buonanotte.
Grazie a tutti. Buonanotte.
Poi andava allegro galoppante, ragazzi.
Io che scrivevo con una faccia.